From Washington, this is VOA News. Coming up, the latest on the international response to the Syria crisis. Killing of a Pakistani general may hamper peace talk plans. Hello, everyone. I'm Steve Norman. President Obama says a U.S.-Russian agreement fulfills a primary American objective when it comes to Syria's chemical weapons stockpiles. VOA's Michael Bowman reports.
In a Sunday appearance on ABC's This Week with George Stephanopoulos, President Obama said U.S. pressure on Syria is yielding results.
As a consequence of the pressure that we've applied over the last couple of weeks, we have Syria for the first time acknowledging that it has chemical weapons, agreeing to join the convention that prohibits the use of chemical weapons, and the Russians, their primary sponsor, saying that they will push Syria to get all of their chemical weapons out.
Asked about U.S. reliance on Russia in dealing with Syria, President Obama said, quote, "This is not the Cold War. This is not a contest between the United States and Russia." Michael Bowman, VOA News, Washington.
U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry made a brief visit Sunday to Israel to brief Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on the international plan to destroy Syria's chemical weapons arsenal by the middle of next year. Afterward, Secretary Kerry issued a tough warning for Damascus.
We cannot have hollow words. The threat of force remains.
He vowed the deal will be implemented. Mr. Netanyahu gave a cautious response, saying the plan will be judged by its results. He also made a connection to Iran's nuclear program, which Israel sees as a threat to its existence.
We've learned once again in Syria, if rogue regimes have weapons of mass destruction, they will use them. The determination the international community shows regarding Syria will have a direct impact on the Syrian regime's patron, Iran. Iran must understand the consequences of its continual defiance of the international community by its pursuit towards nuclear weapons.
Secretary Kerry agreed stripping Syria of its chemical weapons is an important test for the international community. President Obama says he and the new Iranian President Hassan Rouhani have exchanged letters about the situation in Syria and that diplomacy backed by military threat is a model for negotiating with Tehran over its nuclear ambitions, which it claims are peaceful. A wave of attacks across Iraq killed more than 20 people and wounded dozens of others. The worst of that violence on Sunday was in the city of Hilla, where a series of car bombs killed at least 10 people. No one's claimed responsibility for the attacks. A roadside blast in a remote district of Pakistan killed an army commander and two of his subordinates on Sunday. Ayaz Gul has details.
Army officials say that Major General Sanaullah Niazi was returning to his regional headquarters Sunday after visiting an outpost near the Afghan border when a roadside bomb blew up his vehicle. The attack took place in the district of Upper Dir. A lieutenant colonel was also among the victims. A spokesman for the outlawed Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan claimed responsibility for the bombing. The latest violence comes just days after Prime Minister Sharif's government organized a national conference in which major political parties endorsed his plan to engage in peace talks with the Taliban. Ayaz Gul for VOA News, Islamabad.
Officials in southern Afghanistan say gunmen have shot and wounded a senior female police officer just months after her female predecessor was killed. Authorities say she was shot Sunday by gunmen on a motorbike in Lashkar, the provincial capital of Helmand province. The gunman escaped. Fighting in the southern Philippines continued Sunday as the government troops pushed to retake Muslim rebel positions after 7 days of clashes. Latest fighting appeared to be a shatter of ceasefire agreement reached last Friday. Army says at least 55 people have been killed in a week of fighting, including 43 rebels. Standoff began last Monday when rebels with the Moro National Liberation Front stormed the port city of Zamboanga, taking scores of hostages whom officials say they used as human shields. Authorities in Mexico have evacuated thousands of people in Veracruz state along the Gulf Coast ahead of Hurricane Ingrid, which is expected to make landfall later on Monday. Storm is already dumping considerable rain in the area. And along the Pacific coast of Mexico, tropical storm Manuel is bringing heavy rains and high winds. Get more news at voanews.com.